Hello and welcome to season 2 of the Bombcast. I am Alicia, your new host for the Bombcast, and I am so excited to have Christophe Choo with us today. Christophe was actually our number one all-round video influencer in our 2018 Video Influencer Guide. So welcome, Christophe. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you, Alicia. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm excited. So tell me a little bit, just to get started, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your background in real estate.
Perfect. Well, I've been selling real estate now for a little bit over 30 years. I work at Coldwell Banker Global Luxury in Beverly Hills. I didn't start selling luxury homes. I started selling, my first sale was a co-op condo for $43,000 way back in like 1989, I think it was. So didn't start in the luxury realm. But I've been doing this now for 30 years. I love what I do. I came kind of right out of high school. I was a fashion model at the time, and my wife, now of 26 years, suggested I get a more stable job because I was gone a lot of the time traveling as a model. And I said, well, what do you suggest? She says, how about real estate? And I thought, I was 18 years old. Wow. And I didn't know any better. I just thought, I can be my own boss. I can drive a fancy car. I can show pretty houses, and I can make a lot of money. I didn't realize there were escrows and title and loans and inspections and all of these various parts to real estate. So I did a home study course, got my license when I was actually traveling in Europe in the south of France that summer, getting my studies, and came back, got my license, and started selling real estate. So that's kind of how I started. And I've been now in Beverly Hills for about 22, maybe 24 years. Selling in this particular marketplace. So that's kind of how it all began.
So you've obviously always had your sights set on bigger things once you got into real estate. You were doing video way before anyone was really doing video in real estate. Tell me what kind of was the catalyst for jumping into video?
Well, it's actually a good question, and I kind of forgot the timelines, but my first video, I guess it started with back in about 2005 it was, or maybe 2006. I had at that time a $30 million listing, which was the biggest and most expensive property for sale in a particular part of Los Angeles. And it was very exciting to have this beautiful property, incredible looking, and I did a couple of TV shows for that listing. And I thought, this is a great way to market properties. And I thought, okay, why didn't I do my own video? So I did my first property video at that time, and sporadically from 2005 or 6, I did a couple of property videos. Didn't really think much of it. I hadn't sold anything from those videos, but I created a YouTube channel. And then back in, I think it was 2008 or maybe 2009, I was at a Tom Ferry conference. Tom's been my coach for many, many years, and I've known Tom for 24, 25 years. And he had brought out Gary Vaynerchuk to speak to us. And Gary Vaynerchuk basically said, you're Mr. Beverly Hills, your lifestyles are the rich and famous. Why don't you start being a DJ for content in your community? And I was still young enough at the time that I understood what a DJ meant, which is you take different discs, different things, and you spin it to your sphere. So I went out that afternoon and bought my first flip cam. Do you guys remember flip cams?
Yeah.
It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the end of the day. It was in Palm Desert. It was the middle of August. It was like 118 degrees. I went to Best Buy, bought the flip cam, and my assistant was with me, and I shot my first video. And I just basically said, why am I here in the middle of Palm Desert in the middle of August and 118 degrees, but I'm here at a conference learning, growing, getting new technology and new ways to help my clients sell their property. And that was my first video. And I started doing more and more video, all kind of videos, property videos. In the beginning, they were not very good. And I remember 4 years into the videos, I said to Tom, because to me, anything I do, I want to monetize it.
Yeah.
And it was 4 years into it. And I remember very clearly, it was about 800 videos in. Now I'm at about 2,200 on my YouTube channel, but it was about 800 videos in. And I hadn't made any money from it. And I kept saying to Tom, what's the point of all this? I mean, it's nice to do videos, but if I'm not making any money, it just doesn't make any sense. He says, keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right track. It's going to happen. And pretty shortly thereafter, maybe within a month or so, I get one of those magical calls, which I expect every day. I expect miracles and magic to happen every day. It's one of my affirmations. I get this call from a lady named Dimitra Natsis, she's a good friend now after many years. And she basically talked about her experience of working with an agent, didn't work out, I said, how'd you find out about me? She said, I saw a couple of your videos. I said, well, what made you decide to call me for my videos? She says, two reasons. Number one, you were really honest. And I said, well, how so? I was doing a driving tour of a particular neighborhood in Bel Air called Stone Canyon. And I was honest. I said, if you're a sun lover, this may not be for you. It's a beautiful neighborhood, lots of trees, very rustic, very much a country feeling, 5 minutes from Beverly Hills, but it's in a canyon. So if you love the sun, you're going to get the sun later in the morning and it's going to leave earlier in the afternoon. So she was about to buy a house on that street, but discovered during her inspections that it was dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So the second reason was she said she saw my helicopter video, which was my first big production video, which kind of put me on the map for videos because no one was doing them. And I did this helicopter tour of the most expensive homes in LA. And she said, well, if you'd spend that much money to do a helicopter tour, you'll spend money to market my house. So from that call, I sold them a house for over 10 million. I sold their house for 5 million, sold their friend a house for 6 million, and then 2 other deals within 95 days that equaled like 26 million in sales. So
wow.
I'm glad I listened to Tom, my coach, and I kept doing it because it was only a short time thereafter. And that's kind of how that all started.
That's awesome.
I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. We obviously, we talk so much here when I'm teaching about this idea of know, like, and trust, and how video really does give you the opportunity to build up that know, like, and trust, which you just talked about. She recognized you. She liked that you were honest.
Yep.
And you do a big combination of both the more highly produced helicopter type luxury videos and then quite a few off the cuff cell phone videos. I noticed that when I went to your Instagram and to your YouTube, there's just as many videos of you being human.
Yes.
Do you feel like that's been an important piece of building that connection and the relationship with people before they meet you?
Absolutely. There's no question about that. The key to now having done this for so many years and having so many videos online, and I think we're about 8, between my 2-3 YouTube channels, almost 10 million views altogether. I do study them. I look at the comments of followers, and I have about 25,000 followers on my main YouTube channel. And I do respond back and I comment and I look at what they're interested in. And as much as I really love the high production videos of the beautiful houses that take a lot of time and planning, sometimes they can take 3, 4, 5 days to shoot, and a tremendous amount of brain power to engineer a story and then to shoot the story and then make sure it's edited correctly. So, but the consumers really like the raw, real deal. That's what they want. My number one videos on YouTube, consumers like just take my phone. I'll do a production video on just about every house with a video crew and kind of like a TV show, since I've been on a lot of TV shows. But when I just turn my camera on, just my little phone, and I talk and say, hey, let me take you on a tour, and I walk them through the house, that's what the buyers really like. And then secondly, the driving tours, because buyers really find out about neighborhoods. And if a consumer, whether it's a buyer or a potential seller, calls me, and I will say, how'd you find out about me? And they say, oh, I saw your videos. They're calling me because they want to do business.
Yeah.
Because they've already seen me. Like I said, they like me, they know me, they trust me, and they want to do business. Just this last weekend, I had the buyer from London had been contacting me for the last couple of months, wanting to buy a property, and he flew out to LA just for 2 days to look at one specific property that we're in negotiations on. And I said, well, how'd you find me? He found me from my videos. Because I did a few videos, since I work with a lot of foreign national buyers and sellers, talking about what's involved as a foreign national buying a property in Los Angeles and what's involved as a foreign national when you sell a property in Los Angeles. He found those videos. He liked me. He flew out to see a property, and hopefully we're going to open escrow today on that, from giving information, not just information, because anyone can get information, giving them insight and into that. So yeah, videos, if they call you and I always ask again how they found out about me. If they've seen my videos and that's why they're calling me, very likely they're going to do business with me.
Yeah. How long did it take you to build up the YouTube following that you have right now? Because we have a lot of people that are just finally really pushing into video. They've been listening for a long time. Tom Ferry's been saying for years and years, you got to do video. And we've seen just over the last year, a lot of people finally jumping in.
Yeah.
But how long did it take you to build up that following? What's a reasonable expectation for someone as they're trying to build their video platform?
That's a good question. Well, let's just say I've been actively doing the videos for about, let's just say 10 years to be rough. I would say my YouTube subscriber following has increased more so the last 3 or 4 years. Because honestly, when I first did that first high production video of the helicopter tour of all these expensive homes, I got a lot of backlash from the industry. I mean, nobody was doing videos. These brokers were very upset that I had aerial footage of their listings and properties, but I wasn't claiming I was listing them. I was just talking about the luxury market in LA. So it's taken a long time. And it's so funny because after the BombBomb, the winner list came out a couple months ago on several Facebook video channels, people are like, oh, they were posting their YouTube channel link to say, follow me, I'm building subscribers. And I was kind of clicking them and following them so I could learn from other brokers. But what's interesting, most of them were just trying to get over 100 followers, which I don't even remember when mine was at 100 followers. But I've never done anything specifically to gain followers. I think you do, I shouldn't say you think, if you do the content that people want, they will want to follow you. And that's why my YouTube channel is tremendously varied in what I do. I mean, I have little silly videos with me and my dogs. I have my walking tours. I have my driving tours. I have my parties. I have my shopping. I have my travels. It's kind of a conglomeration of who I am, because I'm not just a real estate agent, you know, and buyers and sellers want a rounded broker. They want someone who not only can sell their house, but someone they can like and enjoy being around, because it's a very personal relationship, buying or selling a house.
Yes.
And they need to like you. If they don't like you, they're not going to work with you. So I think just doing the consistent content, I'd like to do more, but it's a matter of time, but consistent content. But I think the key to it is, you know, because when you hire a production crew and a video crew, you got to plan it, schedule it. It's a lot of work. So quite often I'll just, something will cross my mind. I'm like, oh, I want to do a video about that. I'll just get my tripod, put my camera on, shoot. If no one's here, shoot it in reverse and put it online. And I don't edit my videos at all. Like my personal videos, they're not edited. They're just one take and I put them online. Now, luckily, I'm able to do one take videos. I think that's probably hard for most people. Most agents, the biggest concern they have is, oh, they don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. They don't know what to say. And I said, it's really simple. I said, whether the camera is there or not, you look the way you look. That's just the way it is. So, so you're not going to go to see all your clients today because you don't think you look right? Well, then you're going to, you know, it just makes no sense to me. So to me, whether the camera's on or off, it's exactly me, who I really am. And I make a lot of mistakes in my videos. I often say silly things and catch myself and laugh at myself. So, and the people want the real natural you. When I do silly videos, or people love that. People really like that. And I'm very aware of that because I'm in Beverly Hills. I work in a very high-end luxury market. I tend to be more on the polished side in terms of how I present myself. So I think it's really good when I can show myself in a raw, more natural state. It makes people connect with me more. I just think to build followers, just keep putting out content and, you know, survey your people. Do videos and ask people, what kind of videos do you want to see? Ask questions on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. What kind of videos are of interest to you? And I try to keep a master list of videos or content, or when I watch an interview or go to a seminar and they talk about different topics, I'm like, wow, that's a great topic. Wow, that's a great topic. And I'll figure out when I can weave that into my day and do more content about those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think keeping a note of pieces of content that you think are going to be valuable are important. But I love what you just said about being authentic and being able to present yourself in a more real way, because that is the piece that is so many people struggle with, is that they want so much to always, you know, have it professional and it be edited and have all of these elements that make it look more like a piece of marketing.
Right.
And they're afraid to have that human element where, you know, you've said it already. I see it on a regular basis. The human piece is what gives people an opportunity to really get to know you more.
Yes. Yeah. I remember one night I had a really rough day. And I don't like to post negative videos. I mean, my videos are always positive. I mean, there's enough negativity out in the world. You can open any paper or watch TV and it's all about negative. So I don't talk about negative things. However, it was a particular day. It was very long, very stressful. I was taking a shower, and in the shower, I was thinking and thinking that my instinct said, I got to do a video. So I went in my closet, just held the camera and did this really raw. I just cut myself to here, but I had my robe on. And I just talked about having a rough day and how I was going to get over that. And I recorded the video, and for about an hour and 15 minutes, I kept looking at it thinking, should I post it? Shouldn't I post it? Should I? I'm like, no, I can't do this. It's too raw. It shows me here, and I just came out of the shower. My hair's messed up, but I posted it. And I got so many positive comments that people saying, I was feeling like that today too. So I just think when I have that little voice in my head that says, do a video or post a video, yeah, I'll do it. But the really raw ones like that, quite often my second guessing is like, oh no, don't post that. And I just kind of shut that down and I post it anyways.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you shut that down and that you push towards more authenticity, because I think that's what we all want. You mentioned Gary Vee, about how he was one of the early on people that pushed you to do it. And, you know, I'm a fan, we're all fans of Gary here at BombBomb. And he's saying to people constantly, stop trying to make content and just document, because that's what people want to see. They want to see the process. They want to see the challenges. They want to see the wins. Yep. And they enjoy seeing the flashy stuff too. It's, you know, you're using your whole toolkit. So well done on that.
Yeah, you got to be well-rounded. I mean, if you're a well-rounded person, share all the bits of your circle, you know?
Yes, yes. And we all are more rounded than just one aspect of our business. Exactly. So how do you decide which pieces of content go on YouTube, which pieces of content are for Facebook or Instagram, your personal page versus a business page? We get a lot of people wanting to know, you know, should I only be posting on my business page? Will my friends get mad if I post business stuff on my personal? How do you make those decisions?
That's a really good question. And it's been in the beginning when I started, I was doing maybe 80, 90% business all over the place. I try to do maybe 40% business on my personal and the rest business. And then on the business page, I try to do like 80, 90% business and then the rest personal. But I do interject the personal stuff on that. I do post my videos pretty much on any platform I can. Again, depending on the length of the video, some of my videos are 18, 20 minutes long when they're market updates or very in-depth things. So that can kind of only go on YouTube or Instagram TV, which is 10 minutes. So it's got to be edited twice. I do post pretty much everything on my personal Facebook page, whether it's a property, driving tours. Look, property tours and driving, there's not that many I post every week. It's maybe a couple, so I'm not bombarding or flooding my personal with that. So I try to post it everywhere, and I just think about what the content is and where I'm posting it. And I wouldn't be too overly concerned with that. I haven't lost subscribers or followers on these platforms by posting the way I post. So, but yeah, on the personal, I try to make it definitely more on the personal side than on the business side.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What kind of gear do you use when you're doing your own videos? Obviously your high production videos, we're talking about a crew and camera and light setup, but for your own videos, what are you using?
That's a good question. I didn't think that would come up as a topic. I should have thought about it, but I always have it in my bag so I can kind of show you briefly some of the things. I don't have it all here, but so it's obviously my iPhone. Mm-hmm. I use something, and the iPhone is the best because I've had, gosh, when I started doing videos, and the first one was the flip cam, which was great in its own time. And I did about every 6 months, it was a new portable, small, video camera. So I would try different ones. And I bought the big SLR cameras. I mean, I've tried every camera there is, but once the iPhones really started getting good, I switched to the iPhone because the iPhone I always have with me. All the other ones, you have to carry a camera and equipment, and those big SLRs, I don't want to go to a party, especially a lot of parties. I don't want to bring an SLR to a party, but my phone is always with me. So, so having done that, so it's just the regular iPhone, which has a special case for something called an Olo clip. Have you seen Olo clips before?
I have not.
What an Olo clip is, it's a wide angle, it's a telephoto, it's like 4 to 6 different lenses So this is a Olo clip case. I just pop this on the back, and then I now have a wide angle lens,
Wow.
which I needed because when I would do my house tours with my phone without the lens, you couldn't get the whole room. You could only get part of it because it wasn't wide enough. So this now way I can get the whole room. So I always have this, and it's got this little handy clip that I can literally clip on my belt, even for a party, just clip it on there. I have this silly little thing called social light. It's a little light, so I just pop it on my phone like this, and it doesn't cover the lens, and it lights up my face when I'm doing a selfie video. So that's with me. Then I have a little adapter for my tripod, because I do bring a tripod with me, not to parties, but whenever I travel, I always have a tripod, because I'm not always with someone to do a video. So I have this little thing that just pops the phone in there, and it goes on the tripod, and it can go either way. And I have all of those. I don't have it with me, but those stabilizing holders,
like a gimbal.
Yeah, all those things. So whenever new equipment comes out, I buy it, I test it, I try it, and also luckily, because I'm a pretty big video influencer, a lot of these companies send me these products as gifts to see what I think of them and try them out, which is nice.
Yeah.
So I'm always looking for something new and something different and unique. That I just recently got a 360-degree video camera accessory, which is a different case with a different lens, but it does 360 videos, which are pretty cool.
And that goes right on your iPhone as well.
Yeah, and then when you watch it on Facebook and YouTube, you literally see it in 360. So if you're on your phone, you turn the phone, or you go up and down, or you use your little finger to swipe it, and you can look at the whole room any direction you want. So so I do test and try many different things, and I go to a lot of conferences, which is why I'm going to BombBomb Rehumanize. I mean, 3 days or 2 days of just talking with the video experts in the country. I mean, I'll learn so much from them. Hopefully I'll share a lot with them as well. And I'm always open to opportunities, open to ideas, and try and test, see what works for you.
Obviously, all of these gadgets and the tools that you have now make it a lot easier than when you started out. But what would be your advice for any of our viewers that are just getting started into video? What would be your advice, and then what type of gear would you recommend that they start with?
I don't think they really need to go out and buy anything. I think they just need to. Almost everyone in the world has an iPhone or a Google phone or an Android phone. They take incredible videos, and part of why I like these better is what I discovered in many, many testings, the flip cams and all those cameras and even the SLRs, they wouldn't stabilize a video. So you take the video, and especially when the driving tours with the car bumping around, I'd play the video and it was just wobbly. And then with my Facebook, YouTube channel, you could stabilize it, but it would stabilize it in a weird kind of way. So the iPhone, for example, when you take a video from the iPhone app itself, it automatically stabilizes the video. So I think don't worry about equipment, just use your phone. Maybe get a tripod mount. A tripod and tripod mount so that you can, not have someone hold. I think that's kind of important. And I would just start testing. Maybe start with a 1 minute video, a 1.5 minute video. Just kind of plan it out in your head. Maybe write down 4 or 5 key points of what you're going to talk about. And look, if you don't like it the first time, record it again. Luckily, I'm pretty much a one-take person with videos because I don't care if I make a mistake. It's normal and natural. But I remember being on some TV shows with other agents, and they'd have to retake something 50, 60, 80 times because they just didn't like the way they sounded. Or forget it, that's the way you sound. You sound the way you sound, whether it's recorded or not. So just got to get over it. So just try it, play with it, put it online, see what people have to say. And
I love that.
Yeah, and most of the agents, when I go to conferences like a week, and I'll always say to them, they'll say, "Oh, I haven't done my video." I say, "Well, give me a guarantee that within a week from now, you're going to send me your first video." And they do, and then they like it, and they start doing more and more. So you just got to try it. Don't overthink it. When you overthink it, you're going to mess it up.
Yep. I love that. It's one of the things that I tell people all the time when they ask me the same question. Well, what kind of gear? What should I have for a lighting? And I always say to them, don't create obstacles, because for so many people, getting over that first hurdle of putting their video out there is a big enough obstacle. If you start creating excuses in your mind, like, oh, well, I don't have my lighting set up, I guess I can't do a video, then you are going to keep finding excuses to keep yourself from just jumping in. So I love that was your advice too. Just don't create obstacles for yourself.
It's a lot easier to make an excuse than actually do it. That's the reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
In that first video, I remember I didn't want to shoot it I was in my hotel room at the Palm Desert Marriott, and it was really hot. But I had a beautiful view of the mountains and the lake and everything. And I thought, and the lighting wasn't very good, but we did have the tripod. We did have the mount. I bought that at the Best Buys. And I was out there, and it was 118 degrees, and I was just dripping in sweat. I could just feel it. And I didn't want to post it, but I said, oh, what the heck? I mean, I said I'm in 118 degrees. I mean, would expect me to look cool and calm. So yeah, it just doesn't matter. And even today, I think my first walking tour video, which is online, it was a hot summer day in Beverly Hills, and my assistant did the video with the flip cam, and all you could hear was her click, her heels walking all around the house.
Heels.
Yeah, and it was kind of shaky, and I was wearing this linen suit that the label says inside guaranteed to wrinkle, and it was very wrinkly. And even to this day, I get comments on YouTube from that old video from 2007 or whatever it was, saying, you got to get some new suits, guy, you with that wrinkled suit. And I just think to myself, if you know how expensive that suit was and that it was made to be wrinkled, so look, none of that stuff matters. And I laugh at those first videos when I see them, because hey, it shows progression of life. I mean, today it doesn't sound like that, but even if I have one today and it's got clicky feet and a little bit shaky and I've got a wrinkled suit, oh well, if it brings me a sale or a new client, I don't really care.
well, you're allowed to be human, right? I think we have to give ourselves permission to be human, even in the videos that we're posting. It's unreasonable for a viewer to think that we're not a human being, that we're a robot who can't stumble over a word or clear their throat or say in the middle of a video.
Exactly. And it's so funny because sometimes I'll do my videos and record them, and occasionally I'll go back and watch them. And that's one of the things I noticed on a recent video, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, when I played it back. Oh, I know, I was playing it back because I was doing the translation, or not the translation, the closed caption, the words on the screen.
Yep.
And I said, it was like an 18-minute, I said, probably 26 times. And I even said to myself, I said, geez. And then my next video I said, I got to make sure not to say, or I think there was a couple of things like that where it sounded awful, but still online, hey, I said 23 times, so what?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and when we watch things back, we're so much more critical over ourselves than anyone else is. Yep. My number one advice to people that are just getting started is don't watch your videos back. We all pick apart things that no one else would notice. Yep. I'm other than BombBomb, I'm an actor. I've been a paid actor since I was 12 or 13. Okay. And I find even with my BombBomb videos, if I watch my videos back, I pick them apart. I criticize them. I don't like even watching films or commercials I've done with other people in the room because it makes me uncomfortable. Right. But I do videos every day. You got to get over it and not obsess over it, because no one else pays attention to that. If someone is counting how many ums that are in your video, then they've got other problems.
Or I remember quite often I would say the word beautiful over, and I made that word, I always love that word, and I say it over and over. So sometimes people on YouTube will say, you said beautiful 12 times in that property video. So I will say that sometimes now when I've got a production video, or I know I'm going to shoot a video this afternoon, I have printed pages of specific words, like thesaurus words for having to do with luxury or beautiful or exquisite. And I bring those with me so that I can kind of just read that through a couple times before I start shooting, so I don't say beautiful 20 times. So I think those kind of things are good to notice and pay attention and try to be better at. But I think what helped a lot is back, I think it was, I forget what year it was, I was a cast member of a show called Selling LA on HGTV. And so we would go shoot segments, and it would take 45 to 50 hours to shoot one segment for one show, 4 or 5 days, different locations. And I remember in the beginning feeling not really nervous, but unsure because I've been on individual programs for specific properties, but not really a cast member on a show documenting a buyer start to finish buying a house in 5 or 6. So it's a little different concept. So I always remember it was not scripted. They give us the concept of that particular scene. We talk about what do you want to say, and I would say what I want to say, and I would never script it, and would shoot it. And I would always be a little concerned of how it came out. And most production crews and TV shows, they don't want you to see or watch it before, they don't want you to do that. So because I was, oh, can I see it? Oh, no, I don't want you to see it, And those shows, what you sign is whatever they record, they have a right to use.
Yeah.
I remember the first couple of times the episodes came out, the full episodes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how's this going to look? How am I going to come out? It was totally fine. Maybe I made some mistakes, but I said, that's really me. I mean, there was nothing, that's how I perceive myself day to day, and it just happened to be filmed. So I just realized pretty early on, because it was about the same time I was starting my own videos, that I am who I am. I will be on camera the way I am in real life, and I can't really change that. I can maybe improve it here or there over time, but it is what it is. So whoever you are and how you are, that's how you're going to translate on video. So just, if you're not going to go video, that means you don't like the way you are in real life. So then that's a bigger problem than doing videos.
Yep. You've got an opportunity to do a handful of those kinds of shows, the more big produced HGTV type stuff. Obviously, that's the big, fun, flashy stuff. Do you think that, number one, that has actually helped your business? And, number two, was your early jump into video, do you think that helped you have some of those bigger opportunities?
That's a good question. Obviously, a lot of agents are doing videos now that were not doing it even a year or two ago. It's really built up a lot in the last couple of years, I would say. Definitely the length of time and the experience, like anything, practice makes perfect. So having done it so many years, so many different ways, and constantly trying and testing, and constantly trying to improve it. Constant and never-ending improvement, as Tony Robbins says, can I, right? So I think that has definitely given me an advantage. Here we go with the again. It's given me the advantage. However, it's always changing, and I always have to adapt and change. Like, for example, I was so excited to be #1 video influencer this year. Last year, I was #9. So right away, I enjoyed the adulation for about half a day. Then I'm like, oh, geez, what am I going to have to do the next 12 months to keep on the list, to maybe remain #1? What am I going to do new, unique, different, special to keep on that list, right? So you have to constantly reinvent yourself in every aspect of our business or any business. So I haven't figured that part out yet. But yeah, it's definitely given me an advantage doing it longer. But I just do it. I think that's the difference. Most people think about it, talk about it, plan it, but they just don't do it. I just do it.
Yeah, you got to just jump in and do it. I want to ask about Magic Monday, because when I was doing some research and checking you out, I saw a couple Magic Monday videos, and it jumped out at me, and I connected to it right away because I say magic probably more than just about anyone I know. My quote on the BombBomb employee page is a Roald Dahl quote. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. Tell me about Magic Monday. Why do you do that?
Well, I believe in magic. I truly do. I believe what you intend and what you seek will come to you. And one of my affirmations every day is I say, like moss to a flame, I'm a ball of light, love, kindness, joy, and happiness. And I attract all that I design, all those kind of people directly to me. So Magic Mondays, in the studies of many classes I've been to, the #1 day for suicides is Monday mornings. The hardest day for people in the world, apparently, according to psychologists, is Monday mornings. They're over the weekend, they got to go back to work, maybe they're unhappy in their job. So that just seems to be a difficult day. I love Mondays. Mondays are great because the weekend's over, I'm refreshed, and I can't wait to get up and start my real estate work. So Mondays, I have a very particular schedule. 7:30 a.m. is my chiropractor. So on the way back, I've got a 15-minute drive. So I figured I don't do it every Monday. I should. I figured I'm going to do a quick 1-minute video in my car. Just I come up with a topic, and I thought, okay, people are depressed on Mondays or they feel down. Let's make it Magic Mondays, Terrific Tuesdays, Wonderful Wednesdays. I forget the names now, but I did a video about renaming every day of the week. I forget what Thoughtful Thursdays, Fabulous Fridays, Spectacular Saturdays, and I forget something Sundays. So I just figured, why not just mentally rename the days so that you have a different frame of reference of how you want that day to go. So if it's Magic Monday, how can I make it magic? How can I make it special? How can I make it magic for myself, for my family, my friends, my clients? And when you do it for others, the magic of the universe brings it back to you. So, yeah, so I should do more of those, but it's just like that day I was just, I thought I'm going to talk about Magic Mondays. And I just turned the video camera on. I just don't really know what I'm going to say. I just start talking. And I just watch the counter. I'm like, okay, it's going to be a minute. I get my point across in a minute. And that was it.
Awesome. I'm really, really thankful for your authenticity and the fact that you are willing to do that, both on, you've got your big helicopter tours of Beverly Hills, and then you have just that honest moment of, hey, I want to share some light and inspiration with you. And I think obviously it's one of the reasons why we picked you as an all-around video influencer, but I know for myself, I felt like I was able to connect with who you are as a person right away, and not just, big, flashy, multi-million-dollar Beverly Hills mansions. So what's
interesting about that is when I always look at where my business comes from. And this year we did maybe 8 referrals from various agents. And I always ask them, how did we meet? Did we meet in person? How are you following me? What made you decide to call me for that referral? First of all, I put out enough content that I'm constantly in the stream, so they see me, right? That's number one. And a couple of agents that sent me referrals said, I remember I did a video of, it was a house inspection, and they couldn't find the sewer clean out, so they had to remove the toilet, and it's kind of an ugly thing, and do a camera down the sewer line from the house. And I just did a little video about it, talking about how when there's sewer issues, this is one of the things we do to solve it. And the broker said, I love your educational videos, and that's one of the reasons why she sent me that referral, and it was a $7 million property. Another one said, you're very inspirational, like those Magic Mondays, and I try to do a couple of those a week. She says, I love your inspiration. It makes me feel good. I was having a bad day. I watched your video for a minute, and it changed my mind, and I thought of you for the referrals. So, and then other ones are the driving tours. Other ones are the fancy houses. But mostly the real raw ones, that's what gets me business. All the fancy production ones, even all those TV shows. My business from YouTube videos comes from the real ones, not from, because every time I'm on a TV show, I get the video and I put it on YouTube. And I like that because it's nice to show yourself on TV, but those aren't really getting me the business. What's getting me the business is all these day-to-day topics that are real topics. Just, I'm down. How do we get over that? How do I change my mindset? Whatever those are, whatever I just feel inspired to talk about, I do. And it seems to attract others that feel the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. So you are coming to Rehumanize.
I know. I'm so excited.
We are so excited to have you. What can we expect? What can our attendees at Rehumanize expect to hear from you?
I don't know what my topic's going to be yet. I don't know if I'm on a panel or speaking solo or how much time. So I usually don't plan ahead what I'm going to talk about. It's got to come from the heart. And I've done speaking engagements as long as an hour and a half, just straight, no topic. And I mean, maybe they'll give me, like, I'll be 2 minutes before the stage starts and they're like, or 10 minutes, like, where's your laptop? Where's your presentation? I don't have any. And I remember one time it was an hour talk in New York in front of a big group. And the organizer said, I said to her, oh, by the way, what's the topic? And she kind of had this look on her face of fear, like, and she said, how to break into the luxury market or something like that. Oh, I said, perfect. Give me just a minute. I went to the backstage, just closed my eyes for a minute, just cleared my head, and I went out and I just started talking from the heart. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but we'll talk about a lot of different things, from who, what, when, where, how, the ins, the outs, some of the equipment I use. I'll bring all that with me. So, because that comes up, that's a big topic. Yep. I did that at Tom Ferry's Summit this summer. Aside from speaking, I did a breakout just in the room. We had a lot of people, and I brought my whole video equipment thing. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I have a whole video of all the equipment I use. I did a video for people, mostly for brokers, so they can see what and I showed everything. So I'll talk about whatever I think is going to be helpful. I like it when people ask questions, and I can answer those, because then we know really what's important to them.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I'm going to learn a lot too, because a lot of my great friends that are in the video world are all coming, and a lot of my friends that come see me speak, I invited them, they're coming. So it's going to be great, and I hope to give a lot of value.
I'm sure you will. It's going to be exciting to hear from so many people that are doing video in so many areas. We're all going to learn a lot. I'm excited.
Yes.
Well, Christophe, thank you so much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure to get to meet you, and I will look forward to meeting you again in person in May.
Yes, it'll be lots of learning, lots of fun, and look, how can you go wrong going to Denver? Beautiful Colorado. Hopefully you'll have some nice snow. Enjoy the beauty around you. Share who you are, what you are, and whatever you think is important and wonderful in your world, share that. That's what people want to see. And people are your friends. They're your clients because they like you and they want to be around you. So share more of that, whatever that is. Even when it's a pouring rainy day, I'll show the rain, and because I'm so excited that we have rain in Los Angeles, you know? Whatever it is, there's always something you can share. It's fun, beautiful, interesting, unique, or special, or can make someone's day better than it is. So.
I love that. I think that's a perfect wrap up to what we talked about, that idea of just do it and be authentic and share what's in your heart, and people are going to connect with that.